So, why Thundercats? What got you into Thundercats?
Thundercats, so I think it was just kind of timing, realistically, because I was born in 1983. So Thundercats came out, I was like 85 and whatnot. I think I was the right age for the right time. You know, it just kind of, I went from liking Care Bears because they were colorful and I was 2 years old to liking now colorful cats. And there was like action and fun. I was just kind of that right age. And that it just gripped onto me and I absolutely loved it. It was just kind of more so than any other cartoon. It was just kind of my thing. Like I know my brother was more into, I've got an older brother. He was a Transformers guy, then He-Man guy. And then I was also never allowed to like He-Man because like those were his toys and like I wasn't allowed to like stuff he liked, you know. But then that's why I think he didn't care about Thundercats, and I think just I like that. I just really gravitated into that. And it was just, I mean, even now watching the cartoon, which I still do from time to time, you know, some of them it gets a little like, you know, again, we're adults watching it, so it's hard to watch, but others are still really good. It's like beyond the nostalgia aspect.
Yeah, I got it. Just kind of try to watch the He-Man cartoon. I was like, why did I love this? But
right.
You got to get back into that mentality, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. One thing I brought up before you came on,
Yeah.
and I could be wrong, you was on Pawn Stars.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
Like, I saw your thumbnail, and I was like, I saw that episode.
Yep, that was me.
You bring somebody in. You bring the toy.
No, so I was there with the Tongosaurus and then the Thundercats Big Wheel.
Yeah,
and
the big.
Yep, and like so, it was. I had brought both those items in, and they called their toy expert in. So yeah, I think it was Steve from Rogue Toys, I believe. I think he's the guy that came in and gave his opinion on the stuff.
Okay, did they buy it?
No, thankfully, because I honestly did not want to sell the stuff.
Yeah, I think
it was kind of one of those. I had an opportunity to do it. They were interested. And again, I'm, you know, a Thundercats fan. So I was like, I would love Thundercats to be on Pawn Stars. I love Pawn Stars. It was like one of my favorite shows at the time. And at the time, it was one of the biggest shows on, you know, cable or like on TV. And I was like, I see all this other stuff on there, but I want Thundercats on there.
Absolutely.
So, like, and then I was actually worried because I was like, if they hit me with a number, would I be stupid not to sell? Like, and like I didn't want to, but I was like, Then luckily they didn't because I don't think Rick was really interested in the stuff at all. He was just like kind of. If you watch the episode, you can tell he didn't look like he was a fan of me one bit. But
I have to go back and watch it now.
I mean, he didn't come out and say it, but you can tell there's a little bit of like, you know, this was also back in the day when I had hair and it was like all spiked up and everything. I'm all tattooed and I'm coming in with toys. And he doesn't understand toy stuff. Like luckily Chum-Li was there, and he was like, "No, Rick, this stuff, people are into this, man." And but yeah, Rick wasn't interested, thankfully, because I don't know what that number would have been, but that would have been hard to actually have to agree to sell the stuff.
So you still have both of those items now?
I still have the Big Wheel. I actually just recently sold the Tongosaurus. Just because I kind of needed the money. It was kind of one of those, like, all my money was in the book, and I was waiting for the book to get out, and it was like, well, the mortgage has to get paid. And then it was really fun. I sold to a friend of mine. He's a collector, and he actually works at a local toy store, and I like literally the toy store kind of almost right around the corner from me. Real nice guy. And the one thing that's really cool about his name's Dom from, if you don't mind, I'll give the it's called Toy Cantina. Sorry for the shout out. Apologize for that.
Oh, I like that. That's a pretty cool name. I like that. Yeah.
But Dom's like, he's younger. I think he's like 16, 17, maybe 18 now. Wow. But he actually collects vintage toys. So, and to me, that's one of the things that's really important right now because realistically, we got another 15 years or so before we all start. All the stuff we love is going to start to get forgotten about and whatnot. Yeah, so absolutely. The fact that a younger generation was interested, I was like, all right, here you go, man. And he was on me for like 2-3 months, big. Hey, you ready to sell it? You ready to sell the Tongosaurus? You ready to sell it yet?
Well, at least you know it went to somebody who appreciated it.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. It wasn't. Now, no offense to resellers or anything, because I know I've got a lot of good friends. I go to a lot of toy stores with resellers, but it didn't go to a reseller that was just going to sell it immediately after he got it from me and then be gone for good. It went to a guy's personal collection, what meant a lot to me.
And I can tell you, as somebody I have a hard time getting rid of stuff too, and
yeah.
It always makes you feel a little bit better when you know where it is.
100%.
I don't know why. I mean,
Yeah.
but it does. I mean,
Yeah. Like, it's always nice to know, again, when someone's going to care about it. And again, there's nothing wrong with reselling, but because eventually it's going to get to someone that cares about it. But like knowing that it went directly to someone that actually really wants the item for whatever the reason is, whether it's they need it for their collection or whatever, it means a lot that way.
absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
What was your favorite thing that you came across when making this book?
Other than the Thundercats live stuff, one of the really cool things was I was learning from, if you go into the section that has some of the, I believe it was the Argentinian, the playful Thundercats, and that stuff. There is variations I had no idea about. But again, reaching out to different collectors, this one guy, Leonardo, I think he's actually located in Mexico. Again, we've been friends, like collector-wise, on social media, on Facebook for years. But I told him what I was doing and everything, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, well, do you have this variation in there?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" No. Then he sent me all these things. I was like, "Here, I've been collecting for so long, and I had no idea these variations even existed." And to him, it was like, "Oh yeah, dude, of course. Yeah, how did you not know that?" And but that was one of the cool things to me, where it's like finding out all the stuff that I had no idea existed. Like a lot of the stuff, I have the variations, a lot of that, but finding out new stuff to me is always cool, because I was always one of the guys that didn't want to go down the variation collecting, rabbit hole.
Oh yeah.
And then I did, which was stupid, but like finding all this new information is just really fun to me. Like I'm that kind of a nerd, finding out that information you never knew before, that's kind of cool.
I think that would be awesome for anybody to find out that there's a whole sideline of things that you were never even aware of, and it's cool he sent them to you. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, exactly. That was one of the great things about actually putting the book together. Again, it was a group effort. Like I talked to a lot of different collectors and telling them what I was doing, and almost all of them. Don't get me wrong, there's a few that weren't interested, but a lot of the people, when I would talk to them, they're like, "Yo, yes, I would love. Like, it's about time someone does this for Thundercats. Like, of course, I want to be part of this." So it was really cool getting the excitement from collectors, and even the interviews that I do in the book with like people that work for LJN. Again, there's even like Bobby Moynihan from Saturday Night Live does an interview. He's a Thundercats fan. Again, just talking to all these people, when I was telling them what I was doing with the book, there was so much excitement, and everybody really wanted to do this, which was really cool, because you never know what you're going to get, because I'm clearly a diehard fan, and I know there's other fans, but other people just may not care.
But you never know what you're going to get, so that's awesome.
Yeah,
like
so it was really fun.
I like that you included cosplayers in there too, because that's cool. That's a whole nother kind of love.
That's what I agree. Like that was one of the overarching things in the book. I tried to do like a kind of like show the cultural significance that Thundercats had. And I know like it's weird because it's like toys or whatever. But like going to the cosplayers. Cosplayers, there's also artists that I kind of feature in the book. Cosplay really is a form of art. What those people are doing, like one guy does airbrushing, and that was one thing where he's totally different in what he does. But to me, the airbrushing aspect is really cool. And then like the costuming and doing all that, it's a part of it's different types of art and whatnot. I wanted to show how all across the board, Thundercats influence all these different people. Like, and again, there's also Robert Xavier Burden, an artist who does oil painting. He does a huge oil paintings, and he does Thundercats stuff. I was able to feature him in there.
Man,
and then also I'm sorry, what's that?
I was saying that would be impressive to see a huge oil painting of Thundercats and stuff.
No, it's right there in the book, and we have the sizes on there. But you actually, if you look him up online or his YouTube, the work he does is honestly like the size of a wall. It's not like a small little, painting. The stuff he does is absolutely incredible, and a lot of the stuff he does is all based on toys. And Thundercats happened to be one of the things that he did.
That's cool.
That's cool. What's the rare figure in the line? Not variations or anything. Just if somebody was just going to buy the line, who's the toughest character to get?
So if you're just going strictly for the U.S. stuff, I'd say the rarest would probably be either Tongosaurus, just because also the price tag on that, he's the highest valued one. He's probably, I think, like 2,500 right now, or $3,000. Then smaller figure wise, you've got the Driller, and then also the Stinger isn't necessarily as valuable because it's always broken. The wings on it are like a very soft, flimsy plastic. So if you find one that actually have the wings, that one might go as value-wise as much as Driller, or even more if they're in good condition.
Okay, good condition. And I will say, like I told you, I don't know Thundercats, but I love looking through the book. So anybody that's into old toys,
Thank you.
vintage toys, you're gonna enjoy, because I mean,
It is very well made. It is
you got them on card, you got them loose, you got
pristine
everything.
pages, every image you could want, colorful.
And best of all, the pages don't fall out the more you open it. I got some of these books, you open them up too many times and the pages start falling out. So.
Oh, really? Well, that was one thing. We literally went through about 3 or 4 different factories before we found the right one, because, yeah, some of them were rough. And we were very happy with the place that we went with, man. And I love, again, the quality of the book is just fantastic.
Can people get it digitally if they want it? If they'd rather have it that way?
No, right now we don't have it available digitally. We only have the actual physical copy, which is actually really interesting, because we thought we were going to get a lot of people asking us for digital.
Yeah.
And since it was actually put up for the pre-order back in February, I think only 2 people have actually asked for a digital copy. Everyone has actually been really liking having a physical book.
It's
the
cool.
type you want to hold and look at.
It's nice to have something to hold and look at and flip through.
You can Google
Exactly.
it all you want, but you really want to put yourself into it. So how do people get it?
So right now, we just got the 3rd printing in about a week or so ago. So you can go to thundercatstoyguide.com. We've got copies available right there. You can order directly from me, realistically. So you can put the order in. Again, if you want me to sign it or anything, which is so weird that people want me to sign it. No offense to people that do. It was just something that blew my mind, because I go to these toy shows and people ask me to, and I'm totally down. But feel free to send an email and ask me to. I'll happily do that. It is also available at Big Bad Toy Store. But you feel free, again, thundercatstoyguide.com. That will come directly from me.
And I'll put a link when I edit this out.
Yeah, we'll put a link down in the
Okay.
description for you.
Do you see a volume 2 coming in?
Or did you cover it all?
So there, as far as figures, I've covered it all. That's all I can say. I'll also say I'm working on future projects.
Okay.
But
Okay.
what they're pertaining to, I can't divulge.
I got you. Oh, cool. I mean, you did such a good job with this one. I'm very interested to see what you do in the future with other things. 'Cause
Thank you.
I feel like every decent toy line deserves this kind of treatment. So
I wholeheartedly agree.
Okay. Do all your friends get tired of you talking about Thundercats?
Probably, you'd have to ask them. I know, actually, a couple friends of mine, they're called the BOD. They are a Facebook group. I've known these guys for a long time. I do a lot of different toy shows with them. And I know for a fact they are sick of hearing me talk about Thundercats, because I'm literally in the same booth as them talking about Thundercats for 8 hours at a toy show. It's like, dude, we don't care anymore. Come on.
and you're just over there like, this is bliss to me. This is great. I'm like,
Yeah, exactly. I'll talk
that because we've probably been asked that question too.
We all got that one thing we geek out on, and
So. Oh yeah, but again, like that's why I love doing these toy shows, man, and all the different. I'll talk Thundercats all day. We could literally talk about this for like 2 hours if you wanted to, and I'd be happy as hell the entire time.
Okay. Do you remember the first Thundercats toy you got?
The very first one, no, but I still have my original Panthro, my original Captain Cracker, my original Monkeyan, and my original Tuska Warrior Mini. Those are the only ones that actually survived. But those I still actually have as part of my collection.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, the Monkeyan thing I had never seen before until they just did the new versions that are coming out, the Lion-O and the Monkeyan, and I was like, I've never seen the Monkeyan before. I mean, that's interesting. I'm like,
he was always like one of my favorite of like the mutants.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he was just so cool, and I loved him. And
it's a very cool looking figure.
Yeah. The ones that just came out, the Super 7 ones where they're like now at Targets and stuff, those figures are so great. They're so cool.
Do you get the new stuff too, or do you just strictly a classics guy?
Yeah, no, I do collect all the new stuff. I mean, actually, yeah, I've been collecting all the Super 7 stuff. I know Mondo has some stuff coming out. I just can't afford it, so that one I'm probably not going to be.
We were just talking about that too when we were looking through new release toys, and there was some stuff in there in the $500 to $1,000. And we're like, I don't know who can buy that, but it's not us. But
yeah, exactly. Like I'd love to. Like actually, Super 7's releasing a Cat's Lair. It's gigantic, and the price actually was relatively reasonable. It's like it was $600, but then an extra $200 for shipping. And I was just like, dude, I would love it, but I just can't do it. I just can't.
$200 for shipping. Oh my gosh.
That's that good.
Tell me you'll come and pick it up wherever they are.
Dude, right? I'll drive to California and pick it up from your warehouse, guys. Like,
that's the kind of mindset I have too.
Yeah, right.
I found this guy at a yard sale one time. Is he worth a lot of money? Did I?
So if it's that particular one, yes.
Like he was missing. I think it had the headpiece. Did that come off?
Yes, so for that one, yeah. So that one is the playful one. If you found the one that's actually from Argentina, then yes.
I probably didn't. Yeah. It was at a yard sale, I probably didn't.
Hey man, you never know. Yeah, honestly, that's true. I found the mini prototypes on eBay for a regular, just like a regular lot. They had no idea what it was, and I was able to buy it now and then do some research. Like when I saw it, I knew what it was. But I wanted to go ahead and make sure I talked to some people that are into prototypes because, again, that's a realm I don't have the money for. So, therefore, I was never like, some people can pick it up and know exactly what a prototype feels like. That wasn't me. So, I took it to some experts and they're like, yep, these are it. We got a photo matched and everything. But, yeah, that was just right off of a regular old eBay buy it now for a low price. So, you never know.
That's true. Yeah. He was always a cool villain to me, too, because he had that. There's his like fully action state, but then when he wasn't, he was the feeble old guy in the robe and everything. So that was always a cool dynamic to have.
I've always loved it. He was one of the things I liked about him too as a kid. Even growing up, even now, I was always into horror. I was terrified of him, but in like a good way. He actually like legitimately scared me between his voice and what he looked like. He was a scarier looking villain than a lot of villains of the time. Like
it was
really cool.
Yeah, it looks pretty scary. Do you have the lunchbox? Or do you
I do. Okay. Actually, if you look behind me, right over, there's a metal one right in the center there. If you want, I can grab them. There's also a blue plastic one, and then there's one. Oh, we're going that way. That way is from the UK.
Yeah.
If you like me to grab them, I can grab them.
You got 3 of them. Okay, that's impressive.
Yeah. I remember when I did a video on lunchboxes. I remember there being a Thundercats one. I was like, okay.
Oh yeah. And the UK one, honestly, is probably better because that came with a lot more. They have like a sandwich box that goes inside of the lunchbox. It was crazy what they did out there.
Nice. Where's your Sword of Omens? I don't see your Sword of Omens.
It's actually right on the same shelf. Can you see it? It's kind of it's kind of far. Yeah, it's kind of leaning.
We're looking at a scaled down version. I wish we had like a full screen monitor. So I was like. But I knew you had to have one because that's got to be one of the coolest things. Yeah.
Which, if you take a look at the in the book, it's cool how they made the big wheel. There's actually a little like slot where you can put the Sword of Omens directly in the back and ride around. Well, have both hands on the handlebars with the Sword of Omens just hanging out in the back.
That's so cool.
It was very smart thinking, and also on a marketing aspect because now if you're a kid and you got one of them. Or if you have the bike, well, Mom, Dad, I need the sword to go with the bike because look, it's on the box.
There you go. That's how you get them.
How they do it. That's how they put it on the box.
Exactly right. They were geniuses. Good old LJN.
Oh yeah, LJN. They made shitty video games, but they made some good figures.
Figures were fantastic. Yeah, their realm into video games did not work out as they had planned, though, unfortunately. Because I know I would have loved an LJN Thundercats video game. They missed the mark with that one.
Yeah, they missed the mark on a lot of their video games. I like the Temple of Doom figures, but a lot of people don't like them. But there's only 3.
Oh, okay. A lot of the stuff that they did, like they did the Tiger Sharks. Tiger Sharks figures are so well done too. Like, and I know they did. I know there's more like the doll-esque, but it was like the Michael Jackson figure that was huge for them and whatnot. But again. I was never into Michael Jackson back then. Now I like the music or whatever, but I didn't care about the doll thing. But it looked fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to let you get out of here, but I appreciate you coming on, and like I said, we'll clip this and put it up so people can get it. Again, what's the website?
ThundercatsToyGuide.com, and you can also find us on social media, Instagram, ThundercatsToyGuide.com, Facebook, ThundercastToyGuide.com, or not .com, but whatever, Facebook / whatever, Thundercast Toy Guide. And on X, Twitter, it is Thundercats Toys, I believe, because we couldn't fit the entire thing.
You ship anywhere?
We ship all over the world. We've gotten orders to over 28 countries, I believe, or we're at 28 countries right now. So wherever you want it, we will ship it to.
Awesome.
Any chance of maybe ever doing it in different languages, if people ask?
So I have thought about it. Not necessarily problem, it's the fact of the money. So I would have to know, again, like to see if it would be cost effective to do so. Because I know some Thundercats has a huge South American fan base.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Huge South American fan base. But I know I've even talked to different collectors down there, the people that have stores, and they say, well, money-wise, it's a little rougher in some parts in South America. So trying to make it all work price-wise and everything is a little iffy part, but there have been talks, because, again, I know South America is a huge market for Thundercats.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's got Google Lens. You can always just hold it up and let it translate the dialogue for you.
Right.
And you can still buy and look at the pictures.
Exactly, yeah.
Honestly, that's what we figure. We're like, okay, no one cares about what I'm talking about where there's some text. You're just looking at the figures anyway.
Yeah, most of all the books I got, I just look at the pictures anyway.
Exactly. That's why, again, I'm sure, this is the first book I ever wrote, anything like that, so I'm sure there's spelling, misspellings, things are inconsistent as far as punctuation and stuff. But you're not looking at that. You're looking at the photos, and that's one of the things that was important. We tried to get the photos as best we could.
Well, you did a great job with it, and we can't wait to see what you do next.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe
We'll definitely
the Thundercats, and then I can feel like I know about Thundercats.
Well, again, when the future projects come to fruition, we'll definitely be. I'll be reaching out to you because maybe we can do this again sometime. If now, granted, you may look at me and go, I don't care about that line, and that's fine. I understand.
Like I said, I don't care. I don't really get into it, but I said my viewers do, so that's why I said I'll talk to you. And I like old toys.
Okay.
Even if I don't like it, I mean, if not like it, but if I didn't buy it as a kid, I like old toys.
I got you.
Old toys. If you want to talk about something old toys, I'm into it. So.
Right. Well, then, we'll definitely, again, hopefully in the future we'll be able to do this again with a few other things. Again, that's all I can really give out right now.
You collect anything else?
Only Thundercats. That's been my one thing, forever. That's been where I really narrowed it.
Stick with that, because when you branch out into other things, that's when it gets nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you say that until you walk into an entire bedroom that's filled with nothing but Thundercats, and everyone kind of, at first it's cool, and then they kind of look at you kind of weird, like, yeah, man, you good?
No. I kind of admire the discipline of being able to stick to one thing, because it's not that easy,
Now someone asked the price.
The price, so it is, I believe it is $55 right now.
Okay. And like I said, it's all color photos.
It's
definitely
a $55 book. It's well made. It looks great.
Yeah. We priced it as honestly as low as we could go, because one of the things was we wanted to make sure, when this whole thing started, was I didn't know if 2 books were going to sell. I had no idea. So it wasn't about, oh man, we could charge $150 for the book, any of that. I was like, no, I'd rather people get this book, because I'm a passionate Thundercats fan and collector, and I know it's just like any fan bases, but they're passionate. Fans are passionate. Yeah. So it's like, here, we tried to make everyone, feel, when you get it, you don't be like, oh man, this wasn't worth $55. I hope you guys agree. It's worth every penny. I know Kyle Lambert did the cover. I don't know if you are familiar with Kyle Lambert. He's the official illustrator from Stranger Things. He works for Netflix.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about.
He's a huge Thundercats fan. We did everything we could. Like I said, that's why we went into 4 different factories to make sure we got the right people to do this.
And it's so good, because I think when I first talked to you, I said, you can send it to me, I'll give it away. And now when I got it, I said, I'm keeping it. So.
Well, yeah, that's what we sent it to you, because you're like, I'm not really into Thundercats. Well, dude, that's fine. Tell you what, we'll send it out to you if you don't like it. I'm sure you know somebody that likes Thundercats.
I'll do a giveaway. And I was like, no, this looks good. I like, it's good for them. I'm making a video about Thundercats. I can pick this book up and, add a little bit to it. So.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Thank you. It's perfect.
We're definitely guys that we're not cheap, but we know how to. We don't indulge on much, and we know how to stretch our dollars. And this is if I spent $55 on this book, I would definitely be satisfied. So.
Yeah, I'm not just saying it because you're on here.
No, absolutely.
Like I said, there's a lot to read and there's a lot of good pictures. But we're gonna let you go now.
All right. Thank you for having me on, guys.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.